Hi, this is a question for Chief Superintendent Chris Leather. I understand that at 10 a.m. on April 19th, you communicated that you believed the suspect was, quote, pinned down in Wentworth. I'm wondering, what did you mean by that, and why did you think that?
I recall sending that email out. I think it was Chief McNeil at the time. He and I had some brief email exchanges, and that was an update I had received, is that the belief existed that the suspect was pinned down at the time. Of course, we learned later that that was not correct, but that's the information I had at the time.
I just want to first point out that a lot of reporters seem to not be getting their follow-up questions through. We're getting cut off. So I will pick up on my colleague Elizabeth McMillan's question to Chief Superintendent Chris Leather. Just to remind you, that was about you believing the suspect was pinned down at 10 a.m. on April 19th in Wentworth. I just want to clarify, it seemed that you were talking about the home in Glenholme where the gunman was believed to have knocked on a couple's door and they didn't answer and they were safe in. That was not in Wentworth. So can you clarify, is that in fact where you believed you had him pinned down, as you say? Was it Glenholme or Wentworth? And either way, how did believing you had him pinned down impact the RCMP's response?
Well, I'll briefly respond to that and then ask Darren to sort of follow up. Is that one-line email was based on information I received at the time, and then I think Superintendent Campbell did a fairly decent job, frankly, in describing how that information came to us and our response. I don't have anything more to add to that.
Yeah, what I'd add is that you're correct. It actually was Glenholme and it wasn't Wentworth. Previous to that 911 call, in Glenholme, there was the incident in Wentworth. However, in terms of the timing of when those calls were coming in, they were very close in terms of time. However, we knew that the gunman was actually in the Wentworth area much earlier, after the fact, through the course of our video canvassed part of the investigation. You did ask why we thought that the suspect or the gunman was pinned down at the time. Again, as I mentioned earlier, in terms of the timing, it was very, very tight. We were on the line with those individuals of that residence, and they were describing the police vehicle. They were describing the gunman and carrying a gun. And our officers were en route, and in fact, there was one of our officers that had seen a police vehicle pass him, and by the time he got turned around, the gunman had actually entered that large property, and unbeknownst to the officer, that had actually turned around to try to pursue the gunman. So there was clear indications and information that we had the gunman pinned down in that Glenholme area at the time.